The genre of the film we chose is psychological human monster. This is because the little boy is being tormented by his past and the girl is the monster. Because the boy is having a nightmare, the audience won't be sure of what is real and what isn't, and a sense of realism is created through the image of the boy sleeping. The inspiration to have the boy sleeping and the title to be in his dream came from the horror Nightmare on Elm Street. We took our inspiration for the setting and location from the horror film The Grudge. In The Grudge, the little girl haunts an abandoned house, and anyone who enters will then become her next victim. The idea came from the fact that the protagonist is a little girl, and it's fitted in perfectly with our initial thoughts. The use of a house as a setting is also a typical convention. It is generally used to tap into the audience's emotions and create realism in a domestic context, making the fear closer to home. Horror films like Paranormal Activity are set in a house because of the realism they wanted to create and to grasp fear through vulnerability. For costumes and props, we wanted to keep a plain and simple feel to them. The use of typical teenage children clothes would be best suited for the age that we were trying to represent. We thought that if the clothes looked quite tatty and boy, it would add a representation of children without mums and dads, and also target more of our audience, 15 to 25s. In a recent film called The Children, all the costumes used are generally hoodies, jeans and t-shirts. It looked good as it showed them as just normal kids with a hidden identity. Also, having plain, bland costumes wouldn't distract the audience. For the camera work and editing, we wanted the right pace for the right scene. When editing, we shortened the tension-filled scene to clips of just 1 second or 0.5 of a second. This built up tension perfectly and allowed the audience to see all the action from different points of view. For the scenes where the pace was slow, we added some slow motion to put emphasis on some subjects. We used special effects in some scenes like heat and dream mode to create a hazy feel of what is real and what isn't. We were inspired to do this from the film The Lovely Bones and Nightmare on Elm Street. The titles in the scene we kept to the colour white, but instead of the childish font in the main title, we decided to use a more adult handwriting. We wanted it to feel like it was slicing through the action and gave a mature feel to the sequence. The use of white again was to connote the innocence again and to lead the audiences on a different path. We placed the writing at the bottom of the image in the corner, and we didn't want to draw attention away from the drama. We thought having it subtly in the corner would bring an impact to the final form. In the title sequence for a movie I've watched called The Descent, the titles and credits are always in the bottom corner of the screen. They had also used a very bland colour and font. The title of our film, The Child's Eye, we thought to use far off childish font as it would emphasise the meaning of their maturity, and it would seem as if the child itself had written it. The font was also cracked and broken. This was to represent the child's broken and disturbed state of mind, and added uneasy atmosphere as it would make the audience feel like it was the child. The decision to have it in white instead of bright childish colours was to show a blank and inhuman person. It felt lifeless and unimaginative. Another reason was to subvert the usual convention of colour white being associated with the final girl as being innocent.